we are on our way to Woodworker's Source. We're going to pick out some wood. We're not sure. We thought about yew, but we actually want to find some wood that's pretty burly so we can put in some epoxy and order some obsidian to make it a little extra special. The book came out pretty nice. It's leather bound. It's just a simple cover that's really just what she had available, and the only thing I was able to find on a shorter notice right here in the Phoenix Metro. I did try to contact this guy that ended up being from Finland, so never mind.
Hello, my name is Angela Guajardo, fantasy author of the Mia Ever series. My husband and I are diehard Arizona Coyotes fans to the point where 3 years ago we purposely bought a house close to the former arena in Glendale instead of close to my then new job. And then a mere 3 months later, the city of Glendale announced that the Yotes would have to, hi puppy, they would have to find a new arena to play in. Fast forward 3 more years, and the state of Arizona doesn't even have an NHL team anymore. It's in Utah. Long story short, the loss of our team has hurt funding for youth hockey. It needs help, and that's where this project comes in. I recently commissioned a local bindery to tear up and redo the first book in the Mia Ever series. She did a nice job, topping it off with some pretty silver foil, and now my husband and I are making a mesquite wooden box just for it. We started by measuring the actual book and then cutting up some spare plywood into the shape and size of the book so we can use that as a reference, instead of beat up the leather-bound book during the project. We start by cutting up this piece of plywood into 2 separate pieces so we can match the thickness of the book. Simon sets the blade to the book's height, and so we can cut off the excess, and then he cuts 2 pieces to match the width of the book, and so we can stack them together to sort of match the thickness like that. Next, he pours a generous amount of glue. I've learned that the more is better in the case of woodworking because wherever there isn't any glue, the wood isn't going to bind together. That's bad. So, making a mess is part of the process and is a sign you're doing it right. He uses both slabs to spread the glue evenly and then uses some clamps to hold it all together while the glue dries. I've also learned that woodworkers can never have too many clamps, and there is your example of a messy job done right. Yes, we cleaned it up after. With this step done, we will set this aside to start working on the mesquite. We acquired a nice slab from Woodworker's Source off the I-17, and today we're picking out which part of the slab we're going to make into the box and prep it so it can cure until next weekend before we cut it up. But first, we have to prepare the wood. He knocks out a knot which would eventually fall out over time, so it has to go. The upside is we get to fill it with epoxy later. Simon and I picked a section of wood to which we could add a nice amount of obsidian stones and purple swirl epoxy, so this isn't going to be some plain box. We want it to look pretty. Hi puppy again. She follows us everywhere. Simon carefully cuts a straight edge while I do my best to hold the wood down and stay out of the way. This will give us our baseline for measuring the slabs of wood that will make up the box. We finish up the day measuring out the top, bottom, and spine of the book box. We want it far larger than the actual book so we can create slightly smaller sides to separate the cover and back, making the whole thing look like a book after all is said and done, and so the grain of all 3 sections flow together. What isn't so funny is the loss of funding for youth hockey in Arizona due to the loss of our NHL team. The Phoenix Metro has seen some of the fastest growth in youth hockey in the entire United States. So in order to help, I wish to raffle off the book and the box as a complete set, something no one else in the world will have, and donate all the proceeds to the Matt Schott Hockey Legacy Foundation. More information forthcoming.
Alright, we are on my way to the wood shop. So, going to... What?
Talk louder.
We are on our way to the wood shop. We're gonna go start making a box to put in a special leather-bound book. See, I can't talk normal. I just don't know what to say.
Send us that we're on our way to the Woodworker's Source to find the type of wood we need to make the wooden box for your book.
What he said. Alright, so I really suck at the whole video thing, but I'll live. We're gonna make this box We're going to make this box together. Well, I'll kind of do some watching and then he'll do the rest.